The African Continental Free Trade Area 2023 Business Forum took place recently at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. Its theme was acceleration of implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. It aims to increase trade between African countries. Now, the African Union's Development Agency's Amine Idriss Adoum is speaking to us now about the work the agency is doing to help increase trade between African countries. And of course, he can tell us about this acceleration effort. Good afternoon, Amine. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time here. First up, just an overriding question. Was the meeting a success in Cape Town?
Yes, I think so. It was a success. It was actually fully attended by many people, investors, traders, but also officials from all across the continent and beyond.
Yeah. Now, your agency, the African Union Development Agency, works with the free trade agreement to try and effect it. What are the challenges currently? Can we start there? What are the difficulties at the moment?
I would say there are three main challenges actually for the ACFTA to become very effective. The first challenge is the challenge, of course, of infrastructure. You can't actually really you can't encourage trade, you can't actually connect and integrate Africa without proper infrastructure. And as you know, it's extremely difficult, let's say, to move from Dakar to Johannesburg, for instance. It takes like 2 days, almost, or moving from Morocco, let's say, to Nairobi, another 2 days, or you have to go through either Asia, Middle East, or Europe before actually you connect one capital to another. So the challenge of infrastructure is one of the top challenges that we have. There is also another challenge, the challenge of the free movement of people. We can't actually keep saying we want to integrate Africa, but we still need visa to travel from one country to another. Therefore, there is no really integration. So unless we fix the challenge of infrastructure and connectivity, and we fix the challenge of the free movement of people, we can't actually really have an effective, I would say, Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And of course, there are also some of the challenges which are more technical. That's really for lawyers, the challenge, rule of origin, the challenges.
Yeah, so to accelerate the implementation of the continent's free trade area, would we have to address, I guess, those challenges? What other ideas came out of the business forum about this?
I think there are two other main ideas that came out from the forum. Number one is the idea that we need to accelerate Africa industrialization, and that's actually key. You can't just say we are going to trade and you don't have anything to trade. And then the second one, we need as well to increase Africa agriculture output, agriculture productivity. Those are the two top, I would say, products that are somehow, I would say, low-hanging fruits, and we can achieve it. So now, for us at Odenipat, of course, we are part of the Africa Acceleration for Industrialization Development in Africa, which is a policy of the African Union that we have contributed to put in place. And to make sure that that happens, we have launched two initiatives that are actually going very well. We are piloting. First one is the homegrown solution. Homegrown solution. We are actually selecting few African companies. We started in East Africa 2 years ago. Now we are moving to West and Southern African region, going to North and Central as well very shortly. We select companies, we put them into an accelerator. We help them first to gain capacity, to organize themselves. We do matching with investors, and then we help them as well access to new markets using the provision of the ACFTA. And obviously, we help them as well to grow. And we are doing that very well with our partners like JICA or Africa Exim Bank, and very soon the African Development Bank as well. So this is a way for us to help African industrialists actually to grow so they can take advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Number two, we believe as well that it's very important that we help small businesses to take advantage of the ACFTA. That's the reason why we have launched another initiative called 100,000 MSMEs, which aim at actually increasing the capacity of about 1.5 million micro, small, and medium enterprises in Africa. And through that, once we have increased their capacity, we help them as well to access to financing, basically connecting them with bankers, with financiers. This is very important because when you have increased their capacity, then you can do that. And then eventually help them to access to market, but more importantly, actually provide them, I would say, social security. This is very important. Social protection is very important. So they can also really take advantage of. Those are the two initiatives that we are piloting right now, and we believe that that will help us well to make ACFTA a reality.
Yeah, I mean, when the AfCFTA trade, the free trade area came into being, there was a lot of excitement, and it's gonna unlock all these potentials. But you're still grappling with a lot of challenges. And I would have thought, historically, because we've got very strong regional bodies like SADC, we've got ECOWAS in West Africa, we have the EAC, the East African Community on that side. Just as an example, it would have been much easier to fast track. But there has been progress made, I understand. I mean, what would you highlight as the progress so far?
Let me go back again to the regional economic communities. You know, we have regional economic communities, ECOWAS, SADC, EAC, we have EAC, we have as well ECAS, and we have UMA. We have globally 8 regional economic communities. Now, there was a challenge here because while regional economic communities are able to trade among themselves, countries within the region are able to trade among themselves. Trade between one region to another was extremely low. Right now, the estimate is trade within Africa is less than 15%. You know, so we don't really trade among ourselves. And one of the main challenges, of course, was the barriers, tariff barriers, the custom barriers, the issue of course, infrastructure. I mentioned it at the beginning. So all of them put together don't really allow us to trade among ourselves. This is true. Now, we have made progress. Once we have adopted the ACFTA, we have said the first thing we need to do while we are addressing the issue, the legality, we need to invest into infrastructure through the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa. And this is now going very well. We are at the second generation of PILA. We have 69 infrastructure projects. Those 69 infrastructure projects are meant to be implemented between now and 2030, and they are going to help us to unlock really the potential of our countries. So we have made progress in that sense. We have as well another, actually, I would say, agenda which is very important, and we have adopted it 2 years ago, which is the IDA. IDA is Acceleration for Infrastructure Development in Africa. It's very important. That helps us as well somehow within each region to create pools and pool, and this is extremely important. So not only region will be able to increase trade within themselves, but they will be able as well to trade with each other, and this is very important despite all the challenges that we are facing. And finally, last but not least, we need as well to invest into human resources, human capacity, because at the end of the day, you can't really increase your trading capacity, you cannot really increase your industrial capacity if you don't have the human capacity that should accompany those. So all those things being put together, okay, we are making quite good progress. But is the progress enough? Is the speed enough? No. We are a continent of 1.3 billion people. More than 70% of our population are young. They are less than 25 years old. So therefore, we are really facing a lot of challenges, and we are going to face more challenges unless we address those problems that I have mentioned, and we really learn to trade among ourselves and to increase and to make sure that our economies really grow properly. This is key. Okay. Otherwise, we are going to face serious crisis.
In terms of the development of the continent, indeed, if these things are not fixed, there's a huge opportunity here. Thank you very much, Amine Idriss Adoum. He's from the AU, that's the African Union's Development Agency, just sharing us some of the challenges, opportunities, and outcomes of last week's business forum that took place in Cape Town for the African Continental Free Trade Area. And the theme was acceleration of implementation of the African Continental Free Trade. There are a lot of